Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Ketmia.
Welcome to the This and That Chat.
When did that become your part?
What part?
You always do the intro like that.
Because I had headphones. So I can hear when the music
dies down and all that stuff. That makes sense.
Yes.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
Okay.
What do you think about that? What are your feelings when you hear that?
My feelings about to be or not to be?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I honestly have never read that entire thing.
If you were to apply that to your life right at this moment, with anything that has happened.
Not to be.
Why do you say that, sir?
I now don't want to be sitting here. What is going on? It's too early. Please. Go ahead.
Did you say Jesus, please?
No, I said please twice.
Okay. Why? Do tell the audience.
I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
What?
I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
Allowed to say?
Yes. You're gonna need to help me here.
Why? Why are you feeling like you're? It's like you're hiding something. Did I catch you off guard?
Where's my white flag?
Do you surrender?
No, I'm like.
Do you know what's the most amazing thing? Is that I 100% believe that the pen can be just as, if not more powerful than an actual weapon.
The pen is mightier than the sword?
Hey.
That is a saying.
That is a saying. And there's truth to that. I think you can decimate someone with words. Crazy, no?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that... Why are you laughing?
Because I don't know what I can say. I feel...
Say whatever you want to say. You immediately knew to say not to be.
I feel stifled.
Stifled? Okay. Yes. Go on.
I don't know what to say.
It seems to me like you know exactly what to say.
I have stuff to say, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say it.
Bro, what do you mean allowed? Can you clarify for the audience that you're not being held against your will?
Hi, my name is Peter, and I am not being held against my will or something.
Oh, Leah right now, she's like, sister, there's still time.
Listen, I'm scared right now.
Why are you scared? Listen, people are going to be like, wait, what did I miss? They started out laughing.
So let's do this.
Too early.
Hold on.
The tears.
You say what happened.
Okay. I'm going to say it in 30 seconds. We're recovering from the flop of last week.
Okay.
This week is great because we have this episode and we have released the hidden file of, one that everything that could have been that was not. But what an amazing episode, right? And the energy was so amazing at the start of this episode. But this episode has taken almost 2 hours to get on the air.
To get started.
Because one after another technical difficulties. And then throw into the mix the fact that you are independent and can only work with your own I'm doing it my way or the highway. We've been on Peter's highway for the last 2 hours. And here we are. We have started. Finally. And so the first thing that I thought in my head when nothing went wrong and we were recording was to be or not to be. I feel like that is the episode for today. Was this episode
We have one already.
to be or not to be?
We have one that's called To Be or Not to Be.
You know, that sounds so familiar. And now I want to go back and listen and find out why.
Do we have?
I feel like we do know. Oh, dear. Here, the counter. Peter has reached for his phone.
Yep.
And I have no coffee today. I only have...
Well, you had coffee.
Oh,
2
yeah.
hours ago.
2 hours ago. My God.
Hold on.
This episode today is brought to you by Publix Purified Water. The only water that doesn't have an aftertaste. But it is a plastic bottle
Can
for
you search?
all of you who are against plastic bottles.
I don't think
It's
you can
what I had.
search.
It's what I had available. No, but you know what? I feel like you're right. I feel like we've done this before. The thing is, this is a question that comes up in life in so many times where you're just like, you know, like you have to think about Shakespeare when he wrote that, right? I know he wrote it for his play, but he must have been feeling something at that moment where he was in the character and he was just thinking to be or not to be.
Do you know that the only place that I know anything about that is because of Billy Madison?
Really?
To be.
And yet,
or not.
you know, I feel like that statement is very unfair to you.
That's too far.
You know?
To be or not to be.
You know?
That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind. That's it.
Wow. Okay, let me just say, I feel like that's an unfair assumption a lot of people could have about you, is that you are uncultured and you don't have a ton of knowledge, right? Because somebody who takes
Nope.
their literature lessons from Billy Madison, right? How seriously can
Listen,
you take that?
That
Like,
is
you are
a
very-
movie classic.
I know.
Okay?
So yes,
Hold
I know
on.
many people agree with that.
Hold on. There is so much knowledge that has shaped me as a human. Okay? Because of Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, like those movies, they have truly been part of my upbringing. That's it.
Okay. Like, good for you. What I was saying is that you're actually very, very smart and you're very cultured and you know a lot of stuff. You're like a walking encyclopedia.
And a lot of it I learned from stuff like that.
I feel like you're not giving yourself good credit, but either way, this episode feels like it was the one that was not supposed to be, which is hilarious to me given last week's fiasco. Okay. Briefly, I'm just going to say the feedback from last week's episode was awful.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's be fair. We really didn't get a lot of feedback.
Correct. That's part one. That's
Okay. So let's put it out there.
part two.
Let's put it out there, okay? It may have been an issue also with the
Timing.
choice of timing.
100%. 100% it was the timing.
Yeah.
Was the
Like,
timing.
It was
Because
right in the middle of everything that was going on Monday last week with the inauguration and all the conversations and everything that was going on and everything. That, I think, buried.
I don't think so.
You don't
I
think
think
so?
that people are just being too nice to even say anything about it.
Okay,
But
let's talk
I
just about your family.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Our most vocal right? Listeners, because we hear from them. We didn't hear from anybody. Two
people who decided to say something about it.
And that was it.
And that's it. But bottom line is that I feel like it was just such a lesson for how we tend to do things, right? Because, for example, who I heard from was from Leah, right? And she has her own YouTube channel. She records. Rudy records, right? So they've got like this tag team of stuff that they do, right? And she was telling me that she felt the pain of what we had just gone through, right? With not having the camera on, missing out on so much, whatever, all that. Or, right, the second video, which is the one everyone got to see last week, where our energy was just off. But it wasn't off because we were off. It was off because we jumped right back into recording, trying to save the sinking ship, right?
Well, we even said it. I said it in the episode where I said I'm having conversation fatigue. At the end of that, remember that?
And it came through, right?
Oh, it did come through.
And then the fact that you said you were a little anxious about whether it was on or not on, which I just like looked over to make sure it was on and all that stuff, right? And I feel like that's going to carry over a little bit into all the other ones. But what happened this morning, I am 100% attributing all of that to the planetary alignment. They're calling it the Planet Parade. And it's going to last into February. It happens once every like 360 million years. So it was a once in a lifetime event that's happening. The celestials
we won't need to worry about it anymore.
Ramped up, right? So this is the time where weird things are going to happen. We had snow in Florida. Hello.
And not just a little bit.
No, not flurries.
Inches. And according to the guy who doesn't know how to use a measuring tape, 11 and a half inches in Pensacola. Did you see that? The guy measured. So how would you use a measuring tape to measure the depth of the snow?
I'd poke it down.
Straight, right? Mm-hmm. So he took a picture of it or a video. We've got 11 and a half inches. And the measuring tape is at like a 45-degree angle.
Or maybe
he made it on the news. How you like that?
What? The
news took it the same way.
Wait a minute, but what is the one thing that you measure diagonally like that?
The TV.
Which I don't understand that. Can you explain that to me?
Because
that's been a mystery to me.
You're looking at width, at like volume of TV.
I just want to know how wide it is. You know, if I'm going to put it in a space and my wall...
Wide is one thing. That you're measuring for space.
Right.
The space, the size of the TV is a different thing.
It tells you it's a 72-inch TV.
Right.
You know what? 72 inches to me is going to be 72 inches.
I wonder how...
why is it measured
I'm gonna look this up.
like this?
I'm going to look this up later. Mm-hmm. A 72-inch TV, how wide is a 72-inch TV?
I think it's smaller. All the TVs
Google.
are smaller. Oh, boy. Second time.
Yes.
You know? Oh, man. The crying has left me fluttering in the wind. But do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to me.
62 inches.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's smaller. So you think, hey, I got a 72-inch. But, you know, the picture I'm seeing, I'm not looking at my TV like this.
Only 35 inches tall.
The tall part I don't care about. I just feel like if I'm getting a 72-inch, it should be 72 inches.
Yeah,
do you understand? That's the part, like, I'm not going to Google all that right now, but
I'm
just
saying,
never understood. That's not how things are measured. You don't measure a table from corner to corner diagonally to see how many feet is it. It's a 6-foot table. No, you measure it and it's a 6-foot table.
Sorry, I got a yawn that I had to swallow.
You don't have to. You can. This is a free space.
Yes, I know.
You can yawn ugly. You can,
I might get one of my
exactly.
yawns. Anyways, what was I saying?
We were talking about measuring.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, do you think he measured diagonally because of that?
No.
Volume.
I think it's just like an area thing.
All right, so
Length
he measured
width.
Sideways. It was 11.5 inches.
No.
Who's to say he's wrong?
He wanted to be.
But the news had him on.
You know what else he probably measured sideways? Too much?
Is it terrible that I'm trying to imagine how you would measure it sideways?
Can we move on, please?
You're the one who said it.
And
Oh my God. Anyway.
I don't know how to take it back recording.
I'm gonna,
Hello?
Oh,
Hi.
You could beep.
No, I can't anymore because that piece of junk.
That
was the technical difficulty, and you're bringing it back up?
Do you know why you do this?
Why?
It's like
to center yourself?
Rock and roll, man.
No, it's to center yourself.
Rock and roll, man.
That's the rock and roll.
That's what I'm doing.
This.
Don't you see? Like it's the wrong. Like
no,
it's the wrong. This is like animal puppets.
Batman.
Bro.
Did you ever do that as a kid?
No.
Do that. Go like this?
No.
Come on.
Bro. Do you think I'm going to make myself a fool right now? I know you thought I was going to.
You don't need to do much.
I'm not doing that.
But you know what the bad thing is? Did you see how bad I have like, I can't, I used to be able to like.
That's like old Batman. It's spectacles now that are like, they're not up here. They're down.
I used to be able to like do the full thing.
I feel like.
Can you?
Do you remember when people used to like do something weird with their arm or twist, like you put your head through it, you take it around? Have you ever done that? And then
no.
But you know people who do that.
Yes.
That's weird, no?
But those are people who have
I still feel like it's an optical illusion.
Double joint.
It's very strange. Anyway.
I knew somebody who used to be able to keep their hands interlocked and do like a
jumping jacks?
Like not a jumping jack, a jump rope with their arms.
I know another creature that can do that. Orangutans.
Yeah.
Disproportionate arms.
Well, it wasn't disproportionate arms. It's that they were double jointed in their shoulders. It was really weird.
Honey, you have to have disproportionate arms to be able to jump rope yourself.
I'm not saying they were doing it like a jump rope.
Well, you said jump rope. What else are you supposed to think?
What does a jump rope do?
It goes all the way around you.
That's it. That's all I was.
And how are you going to do that?
You bend down and you step through, and then you put your arms back up and over.
And you think that person has regularly long arms?
I can hold my arms.
Yeah.
In lock.
Yeah.
And step through and put my hands behind my back.
Right now?
Yes.
Do it.
I'm not going to do it right now.
Do it.
No.
I'm going to move my camera to see you.
No.
Come to it over here in the thing. We're going to show a little bit of the room.
I'll show you later.
I don't believe you.
You can't bend down and put your hands through your arms?
What are you talking about? Like this?
Yes.
I got it.
Can you step through?
No.
Right now, sitting.
Mm-hmm. I can do this.
Put your feet through your hands.
I cannot. You can pay. What would you like to pay me?
Bro, how are you not going to be able to do that?
Because my arms are not long enough for that. You have to have abnormally long arms.
No. Just like that. Now bring your feet up. Your feet. That's your knee.
My foot is here.
Put your feet through.
I cannot.
Right, like that. Now
That's it.
Kick your foot through your arms.
I can't.
Bro, you're not even trying.
I literally cannot.
Put your hands underneath your foot.
Like open them?
No.
Okay.
Keep them together. Put your hands through.
That's it. That's all I can do. That's it right there. And at this rate right here, are you
gonna make me get it? That's what you want to do.
I swear.
No camera.
No camera. No camera. People, I'm gonna let you know if you did it or not. You know? Can I record with my phone?
No.
All right. Wait, he's about to have a shocking dose of reality. Oh my god! That was gold! Oh, my head. Oh, my headache. Oh, it's so bad. Okay, so right before we started recording, I took pills for a migraine, and that is just making it worse.
I'm going to show you later.
Oh, no. You already showed me.
No, that was a poor attempt.
Bro, you can't do it.
I can.
You may have been able to do that when you were 10.
I'm talking about in school.
When you were 10.
When they were, yes, it was a kid. It was a young.
And you know what? When you're a kid, you're still not the length that you're supposed to be. You're still growing. Have you not seen these kids who have they just look disproportionate and then they become adults and now they look normal? That happens. You're a kid. Oh my God. I wish I had broken trust there. Just for a moment to record that. It
wasn't that bad.
What? Listen, it was the confusion in your face of, wait, why can't I get my ankle through? That's where I stop. I cannot get my ankle through. You know, someone like Mary, maybe, because she's like extremely limber, she's able to do that. Is this the third time he picks up his phone?
Yes.
We have to have a little counter. Google is like essential for us, I feel. Honey.
My search is weird.
What is your search? Kind of tell the camera because we're not party to it. So we don't know.
No.
You know what? You know where you could probably find someone who can jump rope their body? In Ripley's Believe It or Not.
No, it's not that bad.
Bro. You see, whatever you searched, you're like, oh, that's fat.
Because everything that's coming up is just jump rope. And I'm not going to sit there going through the Google depths to find the proper wording for them to show me somebody stepping through their arms and doing that. Anyways, we saw it in Cirque du Soleil. It's the same thing.
They're circus people.
But you're saying it's not possible.
Okay, is it possible for you to get into a box completely all the way down?
No.
And yet, at the circus, what a coincidence. They're able to do that.
Okay, but that's because they're that flexible. They're
exactly.
Limber.
So a flexible person, that's why I said maybe Mary, she would be able to do something like that. I know that kids can do things like, listen, I remember what I was trying to say with my arms. Do you know what I used to be able to do? I used to be able to hang on the monkey bars, okay? And pull my body and my legs through my arms all the way back without ever letting go of the monkey bars, and you would do a full rotation. Ta-da!
Is that not what I just finished saying?
Well, except you said jump rope. You know, I had my arms separated.
I'm talking about arms interlocked and step through and then flip it back up and over the top of their head.
Yeah.
They need a double joint
I
because
don't
their
know.
their shoulder.
My arms were like this.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of more space.
Yes.
And I can do that. I could do that. I was always scared that I was going to break my arms off or something, but apparently your arm can do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm double jointed.
There's a video actually of a kid doing at a park. He was doing the like what the gymnasts do, where they flip over the bars, and he miscalculated. And when he came back through his arms, and came straight down, and he was sitting up straight. It was not pretty on his shoulders.
What do you mean sitting up straight?
So he was holding onto the bars,
Okay.
and he got momentum
Right.
to get flipped over.
Yeah.
But when he got flipped over and he came back up over the top, he didn't have enough momentum to push through.
Uh-huh.
So he shifted his body.
Okay.
And in him shifting his body, right, he came back down and his legs went through his arms. So the same thing that you were talking about doing, but you did it you did it controlled. He did not do it controlled. His full body weight dropped him straight down like an anvil. And it just
His arms?
oh, you could tell his arms were just ripped out of socket.
Dang.
Yeah. Not pretty.
Yeah, why do you watch stuff like that?
I love that stuff.
Why?
It's like you watching people fall. That's the stuff I love. I love people getting smashed. They're the ones doing the stupid stunts. My one of my favorite videos is this guy who's on a skateboard. There's a famous road in California that a lot of people go to, and it has a really nice curve at the bottom. On Saturdays, okay, they actually close that road down to allow for these people to go down there and do this skateboard or rollerblade or bike trek or whatever it is. And they start at the top and they come down. And the angle that they're coming down is so fast, right? And then what they do is that they like lean down into the ground and they take the curve and they go through to the other side and whatever. But my favorite is watching those people go down that hill because not everyone
Those are
makes.
fall videos.
They don't make the curve, and
But
they
that's-
smash into the guardrails.
But that's still a fall video.
I guess.
So we enjoy
But I'm
the
saying
same
like
thing.
that kind of stuff, like, people doing something stupid and then
I feel like you like watching gorier stuff.
not.
Because sometimes
gorier.
you're like, oh, this person's leg broke off. There's a little bit of blood, but nothing severe.
Well, listen.
I
Okay.
feel like you like that stuff. I
Yes,
don't
but
like
not-
watching that
But not
stuff.
because of the gory part of it. It's because of I like seeing
Yeah, the
the
graphic
the
things.
graphic breaks.
Yeah. Do you remember how there used to be the things that they had out there for us? I feel like they would not survive in our society nowadays. But do you remember the series of VHS tapes, The Faces of Death?
Yes.
That was
We were told.
horrific.
Do you remember we were told to watch one? And we rented it,
No. So
and I think we played 30 seconds of it. We weren't.
I don't know
we,
why you
we
have
didn't
that
know.
memory. I don't know why you have that memory. Did you do that with your family?
No, it was with you.
Okay, I'm going to tell you that's impossible that it was with me.
100%.
And I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Because that happened with my parents, with my family. I told them about that because someone at work or someone when I was in school for EMS, they had mentioned The Faces of Death. My dad likes stuff like that. And I told them, oh, let's go rent it, right? I had no idea what I was in for at all. And he rented one of them. I remember all of us sitting down, and it started off with someone setting themselves on fire. That's how that one started off. And it was so graphic that's all I remember watching, and then I looked away. I don't remember seeing anything else. I don't think I wanted to watch anything else. I have a very sensitive soul for that sort of stuff. I can't do anything that is
I feel like
torturesome or
I feel like I've been desensitized to a lot of that
Yeah,
stuff.
like I could never do like homicide detective or even watching shows like that. I can't. I'm too. It's not that I'm scared. It like genuinely messes with my soul. Does that make sense?
When I worked at CVS, I don't know if you remember, I told you that there was a homicide detective that would come, and he'd show up at 6:00 in the morning, and he would print
Can
out.
I grab my phone just for a second? I'm listening to you, but I feel like I
What?
have something in my eye,
What?
and I have to see. Sorry.
What?
Continue.
Put the counter on. She's got one. Look at that. Anyways, when I worked at CVS, this guy would come in. He was a homicide detective for Miami-Dade, and he would come in.
It's awful.
It's still in there?
Yeah, it's still in there.
He would come in to print out the pictures.
Bro, they have their own department for that.
I know, but he said it would take too long. He says he could go in there and get them printed out in an hour.
I don't think that's legal anymore.
It wasn't legal. He told me, he goes, I would have to go back there, set him up, and print everything up for him and knock it out as quickly as possible. And the thing is that I had gotten now to the point.
What about the memory of the fact that it's all in your system?
No, because the way that CVS was set up, nothing would stay in the memory. Just like when somebody came in. And
these were rolls, like film rolls?
Mm-mm.
What was
Digital.
it? Digital. Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was just like when all that was happening, people would come in and they would print up pictures that they weren't supposed to print. And
you mean like pornographic?
Corn? Okay.
No?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And we were supposed to block those pictures from being printed, but they would use the self printer.
Oh.
Go in, just hit select all, print everything. And all we would get was just a counter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the problem is that was sitting on the outside. So they would sometimes come in really super early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they would do. So this guy would come in. He'd come probably 2 or 3 times a week and print out a couple hundred pictures.
And you would see them because you were helping.
Sometimes I would see it. Like there were times when he needed my help, and he would tell me, "Listen, you don't need to help me if you don't want to. I can just skip this, but and I would help him because it didn't bother me. That's why I always told you I always felt like I could be.
You could have. I feel like you could have. It's just, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that it does not take a toll on your soul.
Well, it does take a toll, and I can tell you that with fact.
Okay.
So in high school, I had a girlfriend who her dad was a medical, a crime scene investigator.
Really? Wow. What a cool job.
Yeah. And I found interest in that, and I was having a conversation with him.
Surprised you didn't go into something like that.
Well, I think because of what he told me, I didn't. He said that after 20 years, he says he doesn't sleep much. He says it haunts him.
Wow.
The things that he saw.
That's
very, very difficult.
And you know that he was able to do his job because obviously
he had a tolerance.
He had a tolerance.
The thing is that he said that there are scenes that he came into where he can't get those pictures out of his mind. You know, and he goes, "We're in Miami, and the things that you see are just brutal." You know, but I think would be the hardest part. It would be getting past the memory of some of that stuff, because I don't know. Like there's like I've seen some pretty gruesome stuff. I'm not going to say that I haven't. I've seen some pretty gruesome stuff, and I feel like I can go back to some of it and like run it detail in my mind, but it doesn't linger with me. Like there are pictures.
That's a gift, you know.
Yeah, there are pictures that I remember from the detective that they're strong pictures, and they never bothered me.
Right, because it doesn't stick to you. For me, it sticks to me, and it sticks to me
even if I just say something about it to you.
Yes.
Or you hear it. Because that's what's happened sometimes. Like we're watching videos, we're scrolling or whatever, and they're talking about some kind of a case or something that's going on, and you're like, I can't hear that stuff before going to bed. I mean, you used to watch all that stuff and you got rid of all that stuff because it bothers you.
I mean, I was having such horrific nightmares, and it's not like a dramatization of it. It was so horrific that I had to go see a therapist to help me because I didn't know what to do anymore with not being able to sleep. I was afraid of going to sleep because of what I would see when I would close my eyes. And the thing is that it's like the worst of the worst that you see in these cases out there, but then it would turn out to be one of the kids or you. And so now it's the suffering of what you're seeing, the horrificness of what you're seeing, plus it's a family member, you know?
Right. Well, you would alter
right
what it was.
And it was so bad. I even started keeping a dream journal, and I went to go talk to a therapist for it because I could not sleep. I was afraid of taking sleeping pills because then I would be too deep and not be able to wake up. But it would be to the point where I would wake up from the dream and then have to keep myself awake and fighting sleep because I can't fall back into that, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that they said was switch what you're doing at night, right? And the thing is, at night was really the only time, because you're not really into watching those type of, cases and all that stuff. I was very invested into a lot of murder cases, like watching the what's it called? The interrogation, the trial, all that stuff, like very invested. I remember when Chris Watts' murder was going on, I watched hours and hours of his interrogation, listening to all the details and all of that. It's like my mind is registering it, right? And so, because that's not something that you really would stick with, because I think it's repetitive and you'd get bored, I would do that when you'd fall asleep. I'd watch one case right before going to sleep. Okay, I'm done, right? And so he told me, change what you're doing and let's see what that is. Like, just change entirely what you're putting into your head at night. All of the nightmares went away. I do have a nightmare occasionally, but that was always the case before, right? But it's so sporadic and nothing to the level of horror that I saw in that. Not to mention, I don't watch horror movies because I can't deal with that, right? So the only source of horror that I was getting was from these real life cases,
which in turn is probably worse.
Probably, and it's just one of those things where I don't know. I've always admired. I know I was going somewhere with this. This is where I wish I could rewind and say what it is that I was going to say. But how did we even start talking about this?
I think it was from Faces of Death.
Yeah, but I don't even know why we were. I was just saying that it's very sensitive for the soul. I don't know.
Yeah.
But but there was something about not being able to watch torturesome things. You were talking about liking graphic accidents,
the breaking, falling.
Yeah, I don't know where that was going.
It was down that road,
right?
Down that path.
Oh, where the morgue. That's where I was going with this part right here.
Oh,
for school, we had to go to the morgue. Okay, when I was in school, that was one of the things we had to do. We had to get sign off on that. And I'm a grown woman, okay? I think when people talk about being afraid of something, I'm pretty sure that there is a grown person somewhere who's afraid of the dark. But that isn't something you're allowed to say anymore. You can't tell people I'm afraid of the dark because they won't respond to you the way that you would to a child. To a child, you would put on a nightlight and you would try to show them there's nothing to be afraid of, but you would also accommodate them so that they can rest. As an adult, you'd be made fun of.
Why wouldn't a nightlight work? for an adult?
It would.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying, like, let's say you're doing something in the dark. You're doing an escape room in the dark, and you're like, I don't want to because I'm afraid of the dark. You can't say that, you know? So I feel like the most people can say is that they're afraid of heights, and I feel like that's acceptable. But there's some fears that I feel like you're supposed to have left for children, right? And I felt that I don't know how to communicate to the program director, right? I can't see that. Like I stay away from these cases, you know, and now we're going to go see people who have died, most likely from some overdose, suicide, murder, something. I can't do that. But yet you had to go get signed off on it. I felt like I didn't have a legitimate excuse. And nowadays, and I know it's because a lot of people have probably abused the system, right? Where they've lied about, oh, you know, I need extra time on a test because of this. Now you need a letter. A doctor needs to certify the fact that you, in fact, have some sort of a phobia, right? I don't think it's a phobia. It's just, I know what it does to my soul and I don't want to be anywhere around it. You know, I'm very sensitive to that. So I thought, okay, I've got to go to the morgue and I have to be in the room. I'm not afraid of these dead people, right? It's just, I don't want to see them. I don't want to be standing there while they're chopping someone up and breaking into their body so that they can tell you, oh, you know, this is how we package up the organs. That's like horror movie for me, right? So I remember I took a page out of me being 16 years old in a course that you had to attend in person. Maybe you had to do that too before you got your license. I must have been 15 because I had my license when I was 16. Where they show you what can happen if you're drinking and driving.
Oh, yeah.
And it's horrific accidents.
What was the name of that class? It was an acronym.
I don't know why I'm thinking DARE. DUI.
No, it wasn't DARE.
No, but it's something
but
about...
it was something...
Like being under the influence. Mm-hmm. Okay. Listen, I was not prepared for what was going to come out in that video.
It was like a 4.5 hour course or something like that.
And then all of a sudden, flash. All I remember was seeing blood. It was a nighttime picture. Blood. And I could not, there was no discernible shape to the body. I just remember seeing that. And immediately...
We've taken a turn.
I know. It's gotten really dark. I'm so sorry.
We've taken a turn.
Dang. And had you not said it, I'm going to come out of this right now. But
I'm like thinking,
dang.
We've taken a turn.
And from watching videos. Okay. Should I stop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Finish. Just finish what you're saying. And
okay.
Then we'll
anyway, a page that I took out was immediately when that happened, I looked to the corner of the giant screen that they had, the projector they had. So it would look like I was looking towards it, but I wasn't seeing anything. And I remember doing that the first time that I sang in public because I would get so nervous. And someone told me, don't look at people in the eyes.
Isn't that the same thing as like imagining everyone in their underwear?
I don't know what that would be so cringy. Like, why would you want to do that?
I don't get it.
I don't get that either. I've actually heard like imagine people naked, you know.
Naked?
Well, you know, there's children listening, so.
You think naked is going to fix that for them?
I don't know. Maybe, you know,
naked?
We don't get censored on YouTube.
We're not going to get censored for saying naked. Naked is normal.
Naked. Anyway, I would just look right off to the side, you know, like right there where...
You said pornographic.
Exactly. So we don't get banned on YouTube. Listen, I have a point here. Am I looking at you or am I not looking at you?
Right now?
Yeah.
You're looking at me.
I am not. I'm looking at the corner of your glasses. So I'm not making eye contact, but it's just enough that people can.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. It's foul. Language. Foul, aka bird. Aka foul language.
You said Did you just see it now?
Bro, why would you're giving me my migraine is just getting worse.
Did you just see it now?
Listen to me. I'm over here. Yeah, I just noticed right now that there's no point in me bleeping myself. There's no point. To end my thing is let's transition to this, right? I ended up doing that at the morgue, just looking off to the side, right? They were explaining, oh, look at how we're doing. And I endured the whole day just looking off to the side. Never told anybody my fear. I do think that when you reveal your fear to people, you are giving them leverage over you. So I don't like to discuss my fears with people. This wasn't something I was afraid of, but it's something that disturbs me, you know? But I didn't tell anybody that. And I made it through the day without leaving there having nightmares or being disturbed by what I had seen. I heard stuff, but tried to block those things out. And now I feel that we've reached a dead end where how do you from here?
How do we transition from this?
Yeah.
We literally talk about anything else.
Anything else? I'm so
How about
sorry.
we talk about what we did yesterday?
How about we talk about that? Yes.
Because that there's a transition.
Okay.
We're leaving that darkness behind.
Dang it, there was something good I was going to say about bleeping myself and how it wasn't necessary. Because here you are. Yeah.
Say it. Oh, you don't know?
No, I lost it again.
Anyways.
My thoughts are they're tied to this train that's just whoosh. If I don't jump on, I miss it. I miss the train. How about this? Monster Jam.
Yes. So
Did
I
we
think
not?
We talked about it.
We did.
In the previous episode that we went to the one up in Fort Lauderdale.
I don't think we talked about that. I don't think we talked about the fact we were going to Monster Jam.
I think we did because we talked about going the wrong day.
No, we were telling somebody that. Who were we telling that to?
Just recently?
Recently. And it was a man. Oh, wait. It was a man we were talking to about that.
Either way.
Huh.
We went in September? August? August, I want to say.
Really?
Yeah, it was something like that. So we went to Monster Jam.
Thank God.
But at a Marant Bank Arena, which is where the Florida Panthers play. So it was really a small space. So it was only 6 trucks. No, was it 6 or 8 trucks? I
don't remember.
It was a smaller amount of trucks.
It was because it's a smaller arena.
Yeah, it was a much smaller space for them to do their tricks and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It was much, much louder because it was a closed arena. And when we saw that it was coming to Miami, we decided that we wanted to go to it again. They had 12 trucks.
Well, it was less of a drive, first of all.
Yeah. They had 12 trucks that were performing. They took the entire baseball field, the Marlins baseball field, and they turned it into a dirt track, I guess you could say is what it is. And it just became this incredible show that was 3 hours long. And it was so cool because the space that it allowed, they opened up the windows so it was nice and cool. It was actually cold.
Yes.
But it was incredible to see the space. And we got to go down on the field because we had the pit pass.
Which, for me, I didn't understand the significance for you of being on the field, right? Because to me, it was just the same as when we went last time to Monster Jam. We were on the ground floor looking at all the trucks, right? So I'm sure that a hockey fan would have been like, I'm standing on the ice rink, It would have been just the same. But for you, like, I was like moving ahead of you and you were just still like taking all of it in. And I came back to you like, hey, what are you looking at? Like, what's going on? And you're like, give me a minute. I'm taking in the fact that I'm in the field. And all of a sudden I got it. I feel like I captured that in you the first time that we went to Lone Depot Park. That was, in years that we had not been there. And it was for a Braves game that we were there. And it was just like this,
Well, it's
a beautiful park.
It is. And that's the sad part, is that they killed it with the park. They did such a good job. And then there's such a crappy team that you can't even get people in there.
Only the Savannah Bananas can.
Savannah Bananas, yeah. And we'll be back there in a month.
Yes.
But yeah, like, it was just so cool to we walked in through center field. So
yeah, you knew exactly where you were. This place is so huge. I had no idea how to even get out.
And you couldn't even really tell what was what. The only thing, the way my antennas kind of put me back in order of where we were, was I saw the foul poles.
I didn't even know there were foul poles in baseball.
What are you talking about?
Bro, I did not even know that was a thing. I just thought those were poles that just happened to be there.
No, that's so, like, if they hit a home run, you could tell if it's on the inside part of it, then it's fair, and if it's on the outside, it's a foul.
It's like a touchdown.
Yeah.
Goal.
And they actually have there's a fence that they put on one side of it, so that if it hits that fence, you know that it is on the fair side. So if it doesn't hit that, then you know it's on the foul side. But anyways, so we walk in right through center field, and I'm like looking around, and I'm just like, so cool, looking just to kind of like take it all in. I find where the dugouts were, like it was.
You should have pointed that out to me.
It was right behind where our new favorite truck is at.
Really?
That was the Marlin back there.
And our new favorite truck was Digatron.
Digatron. JCB Digatron.
It's the most beautiful. What would you call it?
Color.
A digger? Yeah, the
color,
yellow.
The yellow on it. It looked
was almost like a toy car.
Yeah, it looked like a Tonka truck.
Yes.
And it was just so
like
cool.
Like a cat. Isn't that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that?
What?
Are you still recording? Are you good?
Nope. Did you turn off?
No, I'm good.
Keep talking.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what happened here.
It's the planetary alignment, I'm telling you. I just heard a little, but, I feel like I heard a little beep like 2 minutes ago, and I just heard it again. And that's why I mentioned something about that. So, should I go quiet so you can pause and
keep talking?
So, folks, I just want to take a moment right now to say thank you for our listeners. Thank you to everyone who sticks with us until the end. Our children are always going to stick with us, so we know that's that. But for everyone else who's just listening, we're very grateful that you're here with us through the chaos and the unscriptedness of everything. So this is not something I want to change,
The unscriptedness?
Yeah, this is it. Like, you're getting us in real time. So
well, let's
So listen, I feel like it's time to cut it anyway. We're going to say goodbye. We're again having technical issues, but this time we were able to get pretty decent.
Oh yeah. 55 minutes.
What? Oh my God. It was time to say goodbye anyway. We got carried away. Sorry about how dark it got. Sometimes.
Well, it's only one half is going to go dark. But
no,
you can still
I
hear
meant
me.
the conversation.
Oh.
Because that conversation went dark.
It sure did.
Dark. Sorry. We just don't know where it'll lead us sometimes.
Yep.
We just do like little roundabouts. But anyway, share if you like it. Subscribe. We always love to hear comments. So leave us a comment. And we'll get this figured out for next time. Also, be sure to check out the other episode that was released today. This was the fiasco from last week. We hope you enjoyed. It was phenomenal. Until next time.
Goodbye.
Bye now.